Yes, it's an honor being here, and you're privileged to be here as well. To come talk about children, how to care for children, how to care for the ones that would live after you. You know, I will quickly begin by responding to your question. I'm a parenting coach and a psychologist. I've been working with children for the past 2 decades, over 2 decades. And one thing I see is that the times will fade away so soon. And if you do not take advantage of the moment, you begin to regret the things you did not do. And the one thing I've come to realize in the counseling room working with parents is that whatever or however they treat you is how you treated them whilst they were young. And so if you are that parent who would not give your children time, let's understand this. We are mentors to our children. We are teaching them the patterns towards behaving and relating with people. When we get old, they would also give us the patterns. That's what we give to them. That was how we taught them to relate with people. So if you're a parent who would always say, a parent called me one time and said, Mrs. Anderson, I have 5 children. 5 children, oh. Not one will check up on me. What happened? What did I do? And I said, were you there when they were young? So I was busy. I was a caterer. I was always, leaving town, going to deliver foods, Ogwashiku, Asaba. And that's what they're doing right now. They send the money. They send the food. They send the people that she has got house helps. But they are not there because she wasn't there. Cherish this moment. What did I say, sir? Yes. When you get home and you're really exhausted, tell her to put her food beside you. And whilst she's eating, you are gisting with her. She would forever be grateful. So today I'm going to be talking about sex educating our children and doing it the right way. Sex educating our children and doing it the right way. This is one big task for many parents. A huge task. If parents can avoid this part of parenting, they will give up anything for it. A parent said, Mrs. Anderson, can we just avoid this thing? They would always learn, can I have a place to put this, please? They would always learn, there's always a way out. And I said, the day you would need this. You're just going to put this here so I can have this here. Thank you, God bless you. And I said, yes, there'd always be a way out, but the way for them may be the wrong way. I remember being at a conference like this some years ago, a parenting conference. And I was to teach on bonding, as well as sexual trainings for children. By the time I was done speaking, a grown mother was somewhere towards the right of the hall. She had her eyes soaked up in tears. I was done teaching. And then she came to me and said, Counselor, she should be in her 60s. She said, can I see you? I said, what's the matter? She said, I'm regretting many things. I have 7 daughters. I never had a chance to teach them what sexuality education is. I have 2 of my daughters raped at the age of 11. And I did not teach them what period looks like, what sexual intercourse looks like. I didn't teach them all of those things. The other 2 ran with men, with boys, and they never returned home until with 2 children each. I said, now I'm beginning to understand my mistakes and see if I had known. She said, what can I do? This is my last now. She's 32. Can I begin to teach her what period is? I said, it's too late, but it's never too late. I said, you can begin. She said, we're not close. We're not close. I don't know what's going on with her life. If she has a boyfriend, she's getting married soon. I don't know. And I said, I had to book a session with them. We began to work on bonding, at old age bonding. She said, 4 daughters gone like that. In fact, the first 2 would never forgive her. They said, you're never there. There were days it is well. Just thinking about the scenario. There were days the people who were abusing them would tell them, I'm going to see you today by 2. You must be at my house. And they would tell the mother, Mother, can I just tell you? No. I don't have the time for that right now. And she would leave. By 2 p.m., the abuser will come and would do what he had to do. 2 of them she lost. And they, in fact, did not want to see her. They do not want to see. Do you understand the mental, the emotional damage that brings to that child? As psychologists, we always look at the end result of issues. We look at how that would even affect the marriage or the marriages. Such cannot be happy in the homes. A woman came to me crying. Someone gave her my contact from Asaba. And she said her daughter suddenly became mentally deranged. What happened? The 14-year-old daughter. Why? Ebere, what's the matter? She would look at you like this. She wasn't like that. When I began to dig into the situation, into the case, it was the woman's brother who abused her for about 4 or 5 years. The day the father heard about the case, he took a cane and began to flog her. You're a spoiled child. You're the reason that happened to you. Is this salt to injury? Now she's in secondary school. She can't even think anymore. She can't write her name. She's gone into a state of deep depression. And the mother said, every day I cry. Because how do I bring her out of this? How can she trust me? I'm still on her case right now. Because we need to make her well. So we'll talk about sex educating our children. It's not something we need to shy away from, or we should shy away from as parents. Because if we do not teach them, the world will teach them. And when the world teaches them, it will come with great damages and catastrophic experiences. Now, what is sex education? It's not as we think it is. The reason we're always afraid of teaching our children, how do I tell my child, hey, sex is that? No, because we are spoiled as parents, that's how we think that way. When it comes to sex educating our children, take away sexual intimacy from it. It's about letting the child know himself or herself and building the right confidence as an individual. So when you say, I want to teach my child sex education, because the question is always, what do I even tell my child? I want to teach my child who he is and who she is. There comes a time in the life of a child where they begin to experience identity crisis. If you're able to help your child with the knowledge of sex education, they will tell, I'm a boy. This is me. I have a daughter who's almost in her early teens. She's got lots of pimples on her face. And her classmates will tell her, what's this on your face? What's on your face? And I said to her when I said, you're beautiful just the way you are. It means you're growing. You're going to be a beautiful mother. So she goes to school and they're like, what's that? She says, I'm beautiful just the way I am. But do you know, there are some children who had to indulge in sexual activity because of that. There's pimple on your face because you are seeing your period. You know, if you can meet a boy, these pimples will disappear. And they're going to it. I have a daughter today by name Martha. She's got a son now just because of that. At the age of 12. Was it 12? 12, 13. Because of that. And now she's got a son. There's still pimples there. Will she keep going to have a son? We cannot run away from it. So the next on my slide is the mistakes of our parents. We cannot parent the way we were parented. Because the times that we are in, we need to walk on our tips. Hello, mama. She's sex educating herself. We cannot afford to parent like we were parented. I know of many persons, maybe in this room, when you saw your first period, no one taught you how to do it. Is that true? Came like a shock. As a matter of fact, I, for one, My older sister would buy tissue. And because we're always, come on, as children, you must be inquisitive. You want to know what is happening. So I would look at my sister and she would get into the restroom. And so I would go and peep through the window, the door. Why is she doing that? What is going on? My mother would say, leave that place, leave that place. What is there to say? She's having so and so of the month. It happens to every girl child. Yours will come too. They never said that to me. Until one day mine came. And I was like, what's this? I was at school. So I ran home. I was afraid. I was praying to cast it out. I was praying. You don't understand. If you had my kind of mother who would match you from the school to the house, you would try everything not to fall into the trap. There were days where we would have to go out together and I'll be in my period and I couldn't tell her I need a pad. So for the first 3 months I was on, there was nobody to tell. Like, something is happening to me. I don't know what is happening to me. Until one day she went to the restroom and so on. She was like, wow. And I said, she said, who did that in the return? I said, Ma, it's not me. I think it's Esty. My older sister is Esty. She said, I know when Esty sees a period. It's not. I said, okay, it's me. It's me. Why did you tell me? I didn't know what it was. Why would I tell you? Then she began to school me. But let me tell you something. I had gone to some of my friends at school who were boys, who saw the stains on the chair. One of them said, you don't know, Miss Omonefe, to just touch you, this thing will disappear. What would it have taken my mother to tell me? I also see this too. Your class teacher would also see this. Your class friends who are girls would also, what is there? The way we were parented, we cannot afford to make the same mistake. Because especially in this Gen Z generation, we would lose them. When the world is very intentional about taking our children and causing a crisis, where a boy will tell you, I'm trans. Have you seen them before? I'm trans. If you do not let them know, you will endanger them. The next on my slide is the WH questions for sex education. What's the first question there? How do I what? How do I start? Many parents cringe. Should I call my son and just tell him, you know, sex is, nah. How do I start? Psychological perspective to that says, from the age of 2, begin to teach your child about sex. This is not your definition of sex. It's about knowing themselves. How do I start? Simple conversations about the bodies. Whilst we were in our children level in the School of Psychology then, we're taught Arizonia zones. Zones that gives pleasure. You see, they're touching the peepees. They're trying to understand, what is this? Why do I have this? Sometimes they will come, the girl child will come, Mommy, why is Ken not having pee-pee? And I'm not having pee-pee. They may even put the socks there and begin to walk around the house. Just to want to, like, what's going on? Sometimes they have the confusion. You are there to guide, not just to scream. I want to tell parents, whenever you see yourself shouting at your child, it's because you have fears in parenting. What do I say? This is your breast. This is your penis. This is your vagina. I call it vagina from when they were little. This is your vagina. So they don't go to tell school that's my vagina. No, I said vagina. And this is what happens to your vagina. You ease yourself with it. It's your no-touch area. It's your this area. It's mine and nobody else. Or nobody else's. And with this, I will always tell them, permission to bathe you? No, Mom, don't bathe me. Do you want to smell? I don't want to smell. Please bathe me. So they'll tell me. Mom, touch this place. Don't touch this place. I began to teach them how to own their bodies and to put restraint to it. When do I say it? Anytime. There is no specific time to teach in sex education. Whilst you're driving, you talk about it. Whilst you're eating, you talk about it. Whilst you're adjusting, do you know that the books they read today have got sexual conversations in them? And you're waiting for a right time? I walked into my children's bedroom some time ago. I noticed my youngest daughter. She would come and she would say certain words. Like, Mom, is it not true that when a girl kisses a girl, they'll go to hell? So I began to listen more. What are you talking about? One day she will come and say, never mind, never mind. So one day I said, I need to see, because where else do they go to? School, church, house. So I went into the bedroom. I said, I want to be on your bed and just play. So we're there. Suddenly I saw a cartoon we had seen a long time ago. Now they came out with a part 2. This time, a girl, the actress or so of the movie was in love with another lady from another city or another place. American cartoon. And this time they were together. They were supposed to have a date and meet somewhere. And then they met. And they began to kiss. Holy Ghost. I said, never again. And because she's that kind of child that would act part 9 to part 100 when she goes to bed. She'll come and tell you, Mom, I also had another part where they got married and they have 6 children. She does not, when she sees things, she doesn't end there. I said, God forbid. So I said, from today, no more cartoon in this house. Because I cannot be there all the time. And because the word is intentional, we have got to be intentional parents. What did I do? I said, from today, the only cartoons allowed in this house is Christian cartoons. Yes. So I would tell them, watch this, John the Baptist, how Christ was crucified, know God and know him. And then we began. Tell you what, I had to divert the knowledge, her energy, because she's very smart, to positive direction. When she's watching the crucifixion or whatever of Christ, you will see her watch. She'll be so into it. When she begins to ask questions, you would run out of response. She said to me one day, after watching the creation, she said, Mother, where is the mind of God? I said, who do I call now? And I was bathing her then, and I said, I'm trying to understand. You don't know? I said, I know. Why don't you answer? I'm thinking. I think mothers are smart. I said, I'm actually smart. I am smart. I'm trying to think. By evening, I had to figure out what to say. The mind of God is inside of God. She said, inside of God. Where is it inside of God? And I said, okay. Let's begin. Began to find ways to respond to suit our understanding. The next day she came and said, I just finished watching that God made the heavens and the earth. Where was he before he made the heavens and the earth? People of God, respond and help a sister. You have an answer for me? The question is still there. Now imagine if she has been watching negative movies, where she would have gone to with the thoughts. Now she's watching Samson and Delilah. That's where she is right now. And that's been for like 3 days. She's trying to understand why Samson fell in love with Delilah. She said, because she is not a child of God. So why did he go against God's policies? The next question was, Mother, Samson died with the Philistines. Why did he choose to die? Oh God. Is it making sense? If we do not enter into the life of our children, the world will enter into them. So what I do every day, my data is always on. All of your systems connected to the Wi-Fi. Watch it and tell me the stories. She said, Samson fell in love with Delilah. Now the next question for me was, what is fell in love? She said, Mommy, you fell in love with Dad. She was, if you come into the sense of the reality of things, you would not leave things to chance. You would not leave things to chance. Where are my people? Where do I do it? Anywhere is the answer. Anywhere. Don't wait for a right moment. You may say, by 6 p.m. we're going to have the conversation. And something else will take that time. How do you recall it? I was on radio the other day, still on this topic, and parents are calling in on how to respond to sex talk. And a parent called in and she was in deep tears on radio. She said her daughter is 16 and she's pregnant right now. The daughter will always tell Mom, I want to talk to you. The landlord was chasing after the girl. And she sells fish at Macau. A single mother. If you don't allow me, I will give you quick notice. You will leave the compound. She loves her mother so much. So one day, the mother went to the market. She came back from school. She was actually deliberately staying back at school to avoid the man's advances. The mother would beat her and say, you came back late. What is wrong with you? Neighbors told me. Landlord told me you came back late. So the man was even intentional about ensuring she comes back early. Until he had his way. And then she fell pregnant and she told her, Mom is landlord. So she's landlord's mother-in-law. What? We can't take chances. If you're in the kitchen, talk about it. If you're driving, talk about it. If you're writing, talk about it. One question I always tell parents to ask, how was school today? You see that question? It answers everything. And don't leave it there. What happened at school today? I told my daughter one time, she said, Mommy, my class, they were talking about truth or dare. And they had this sex conversation. And I said to her, what is sex? She began to, of course, we had a session on that a long time. She said, but my classmates said that sex is for teenagers and for the married. I said, what? She said, that's what my classmates said. But I had to tell them that's wrong. If your child did not have the right words against them, they would fall for them. You know, Christ was able to overcome the temptation because he had words against the enemy. What words does your child or your children have? Anywhere is the answer. What if it sounds weird? It will always sound what? Weird. Always. A parent said to me, when I told her one of my daughters saw her period at the age of 9. She said, God forbid. Mr. Nelson, it should not be my daughter. And her daughter and mine happens to be the same age. She said, so what happened? I said, she's prepared for it. She was even waiting. Mommy, my period come this month. Is it going to come next month? Because we had a conversation a long time ago. We have discussed it. I did not just discuss with her. I discussed with her brother and her sister. So we have a round table talk about menstrual cycles. So when you see her stain, don't be shocked and raise an alarm. So we discuss it like, my son was like, what about? That is why when they go to school, secondary school, and the teacher teaches biology, you don't know, it's in science or so, reproduction. They're like, there's no there. When you know what it is. A boy in secondary school came to me one time, then I was a counselor at Eagle Heights. And he said, Mr. Anderson, this thing is standing. Anytime a law passes, it stands. I don't know what is happening to me. I said, are you for real? He said, yes. I can't even tell my mom. I don't know if I'm committing a sin. You're not. Maybe you have an attraction for her. And so we began to talk about it. Do you know what the classmate told him when he said that to them? He said, take her to the toilet. Thank God I was in school. And I had said, no, you don't have to talk about, to do that. Look at why, look at why, look at why. It began to open up on why, how he has wet dreams. Does a son of 8 or 9 know that? The day the father came to school and I was like, are you close to your son? He said, yes, we talk a lot. Yeah, we play games together. Do you know your son away from games? Say, yeah. Chukudi, yeah. We cannot afford to lose our children. We cannot afford. What's next on my slide, please? When should I start talking with my kid about sex relationships? As soon as the kid starts what? Okay. Is this slide? Okay. As soon as the kid starts to do what? Learning to talk. And this is not because they want to teach them sex, but as soon as they begin to talk, tell them what the parts are and how to guard themselves. Let's move. And then you teach them my body, my space, and my what? My consent. My body, my space, and my consent. If I am not allowed to touch, I would not. If I don't let them touch me, they can't touch me. I saw an American doctor recently, and he was supposed to check up on a child, I think to carry out some vital signs or so. And he told the child, can I touch your belly? The child said, no, don't do it. He said, can I just touch and just take some vital signs? He said, don't touch it. Can I touch here? No, don't touch it. No means no. And the doctor did not touch the child. What happened? He said to the mother, thank you for teaching this child the right way. And what you would do is take her to the room and let her know those who are permitted to. And under so-and-so's watch. So the child said, okay, Mom, so can he touch me? He wants to check my temperature, if I'm okay? The mother said, yes. Mom, but you have to be there. Said, yes. And so the mother went with the child. Then the doctor had to carry out his assignment. Can your child say no and it means no? My body, my space, and my what? My consent. Please teach your children this. In counseling, we always teach the stages of sexual intercourse. We have the hand to the hand to the waist, hand to the laps, and then the hand to the sexual parts. So if it leaves the hand to the hand, and it goes to the hand to the waist, you are already trespassing. When you teach your children this, when a boy touches your waist, tell him no means what? No. Are we learning something? Okay. So how do you keep the conversation age appropriate? In this day and time, I'm not going to put an age to it because they now know anything. They go to school, they're exposed to many things. The child, I do not think I knew what sex was at the age of 13. Right? Then I used to think, because my mother would tell me that if a boy touches your hand, you're pregnant. That was the lie we ran with. So the day a boy touched my hand, I checked. Does it mean they're telling a lie? There was a day, a man came to my mother's house then and held me, because then she would say, if it touches your hand, just says hi to you, you were pregnant. And so the man held my hand and was like, where's your mom? I said, sir, don't get me pregnant, please, please. The man was embarrassed. He was like, what do you mean? I said, sir, please, I'm begging you. Please don't touch my hand. But we need to tell them these days what it is. I'm not going to put an age to it. You know your child, because if I tell you at the age of 8, begin to teach what sex is, they may know more than that. My youngest daughter sat with me watching, Because I knew the way she was thinking, or she's beyond her age. So one day, I took the control and said, let me watch a Nigerian movie. You know, they always like love in Nigerian movies. So I placed it, and I sat there. She was doing her assignment. When she saw those village boys with the rapper and the girls coming to the bush, Mama dropped her pen. And I was like this. I said, Mama, go and write. Mom, I think the boy loves her. I said, what did you say? I think he loves her. At some point in the movie, they got married. And then the girl's friend began to give signal to the young man. She said, she moved her books, passed through the dining section, went round, and came stylishly to the chair beside the door. And then she moved one leg, another leg, until she became comfortable on the chair to watch the movie with me. Did I chase her away? No. I allowed her. I was watching, she was watching with me. At some point, she thought we were age mates. Mom, can you see? Evil woman. I said, evil woman. She said, this woman, she's too bad. She's jealous of her friend's husband. I said, yes, that's true. With her, no. I was trying to rate her mental, to see what I could teach her. So when I'm others pee-pee, I don't teach her pee-pee, I teach her organs, uterus, breast. At the age of 6, she knew what menstrual cycle was, or is, because I'm working with her knowledge, her mental capacity. If you wait for such a child to get to maybe 10, then she said, Mom, when can I have a boyfriend? I said, what did you say? Holy girl. I said, you will, but not now. There's a time for it. We're having the conversation and we're still on that now. Let's continue. Time is ticking. Reasons why you need to talk about sex to your kids. Firstly, your kids are going to hear it from who? Okay, next slide, please. First, your kids are going to hear about sex from who? Is that true? The first time I heard about menstrual cycle was from Princess Dugbo, I think the one-time justice of Delta State. I went to the house to play. They used to be wealthy. She just called me and said, Shola, come. This is period. This is a pad. And this is period. I said, what's that? I said, okay, so if I touch you this way, you would touch me like this. When I'm in my period, look at what happens. I got home. I wanted to ask my mother and my sister, what is period? They were not there to respond to the question. If I had gone back to Princess, she may have taught me the wrong thing. That is why we're losing our children these days to the wrong angle of life. They hear it from friends, from surfing the what? Internet. If you turn left, it's there. You turn right, it's there. What's the next? By watching what? I spoke about that, right? Okay. And by getting in first, you are making what? Sure they receive the right information. I also spoke about handing them with the right information first. You know what? If as a parent you teach your children the right thing first, when friends tell them, they will say, no, I know what to say. I know the right thing to say. This is not it, this is it. But if your friends or their friends teach them the wrong things first, when you speak to them, it's like you want to speak on top of what they've... No. It can't be that effective. Okay, so the next is that you are actually influencing... No, I think the second. You're influencing what your kids will one day do about sex. Okay, next slide, please. To make appropriate decisions in life. This is not because you want to threaten them. In the past, we'll be told, if you just sleep with a boy, it's this. Or, if you go out again, I will kill you. A father called me one day and he was sounding so... He was like, I need to see you. Fire on the mountain. So that day he came to my office and brought his 13 or 14-year-old daughter. And then he said, she's pregnant. The girl was like this. What's happening? Ma, ask him to do what he wants to do to me. Ask him. What's the matter? He said, if I get pregnant, it will kill me. Sir, just do it now. I'm pregnant. Just do what you want to do. It's enough to do this. Because she was taught the wrong way. They make right decisions. You let them know. Children who know what to do and the repercussions or the solutions do not make wrong decisions. You may even lead this into communication at home. If you tell your children to do something, tell them the reasons for it. Don't engage or indulge in sexual activities. There are reasons for it. STDs, early pregnancy, whatever it is. When they get to know the repercussions, they would abstain. Then you saying, if you try it, I will do this. They do not know why you are so particular about not trying it. And the friends are making it seem so beautiful. I always tell them, sex is beautiful. Sex is not a sin. But fornication is a sin. Did you hear what I said? Sex is not a sin. Fornication is. Sex is for the married. But fornication is not for the married. So they're able to decipher which is which. To protect them from negative influences, myths and lies about sex. Next slide, please. To make appropriate. Oh, the days are evil. Of course we know that. The times that we are in, we need to get our children girded. Because they now know more than you think they do. There is an agenda. Okay, next slide, please. I've explained these already. To hand them the truth and right information about sex. It is a weapon against evil. To prevent them from becoming what? Victims of sexual assaults. This is very important. Very important. To prevent them from life. Okay, next slide, please. 13 minutes to go. To protect them from peer pressure. This is important. I was at Ogborikoko Secondary School many years ago on monitoring as a counselor. And so that day, I walked in after seeing the students and saying hello to them. And then this girl came to me, Ogo. Miss Anderson, can I see you, ma? I said, yes, you can see me. She said, ma, I'll be this virgin today. I'm like, are you for real? Oh my God. She said, yes, ma. And we did the Indian dance? We did it together. She said, ma, thank you for being happy with me. I'm happy for you. And then I became silent for a few seconds. She said, ma, so I said, so who's the guy? Ma, he's one conductor. Along elbow. Oh my word, time is ticking. We need to run. He runs Jakpa Junction to Efosapele Road. We'll be meeting by 2 today. Ma, be happy for me, please. I said, I'm happy for you. Then I said, where are your friends? She said, ma, they're outside. Because I perceived there were influences behind our decisions. I said, let me see your friends. Ma, I said, I want to give them hugs. They're good people. And then I said, bring them. 4 of her friends, they came in. I said, no, God, wait for us outside. And then she went outside and I said to them, how dare you? How dare you? How old are you? 12. Are you a virgin? No. How old are you? 13 plus. Are you a virgin? No. How old are you? 14, 12. Are you virgins? No. Why are you doing this to her? Once a man, I will confess. You know, all of us are no longer virgins. She's the only one amongst us. So we are jealous. Oh, why would she be the virgin amongst us? So they made it so pleasant to Ogo. And she brought the information to the wrong person. The right person. Thank you, Rev. Please applaud Rev for me. By the grace of God, Ogochukwu is a lawyer today. That's right. I thought you would clap. It's a good place to clap. And then she called me. She said, Mrs. Anderson, I will fight for you. I will kill. I said, don't kill. Because, don't kill. She said, because those friends are evil. But let me tell you something. Sometimes these friends are also in your families, amongst your children, around your children. You've got to be very careful. I had a student one time, SS2 then, Ufoma, she began to give herself to boys cheapishly. Or so I don't know. So one of the days, a father came to me and I said, Ufoma at the back of the chairs with boys. So I took her case seriously. One day I said to her, she's from a very wealthy family. Wealthy. I said, Foma, she said, Ma, I said, you're beautiful. So I said, shh, don't say that. Why did you say that? Ma. I said, come to my office. Around lunch she came. And then she said, Mrs. Anderson, please, I know my story is bad before you. I need to give these boys to touch my breast and to finger me. Because my auntie said because I am fat, boys would not like me. And then all the boys go to the girls in class. So I had to give them myself so I can still feel beautiful. And that went on. The day she was graduating from school, she kept screaming my name. Mrs. Anderson, where are you? You changed something about me. She's in Canada right now studying. She said, Ma, my auntie said to me, I need to give boys. Watch the people around your children, parents. What did I say? So what's the next? Okay, please leave it there. Okay. The importance of early sex education to our children. Yes, let's go there. I wanted to say something. No, go back a bit. To children who know, say no. Okay? All right. The importance of sex education to our children. It encourages what? Body positivity. Please move with me. It encourages body positivity. Okay. Healthy gender identity. So your young ones are able to tell if they are boys or girls. Okay? If your son is a boy, tell him you are a cute boy. You are handsome. You would have a wife. Not a husband. Like what I see today in the world. A young man was telling the young boy they adopted, I'm your dad, he's your dad's wife, mother. I don't understand that. And children in such homes grow up to becoming the same thing. So let them know you are a boy, you would have a wife, you're a girl, you would have a husband. Promotes better parenting and child conversation. Next, accepting peer and preparing for body changes. Yes, when they begin to have those changes, they're able to tell. Able to disclose and expose sexual predators early. Yes, that's true. Make smart. Uncle, where are you? Okay. Keep other kids informed and protected. Reduces the activity of sexual predators. Are you moving with me? 20. Okay, next slide, please. I'm trying to juggle it up. No. Go to the slide on advantages in early years. Is that where you are? Let me show you where I am. Okay, go here. The next slide after that. Okay, good. So, accepting and preparing for body changes, able to disclose and expose sexual predators early. Next slide. Okay, for teens. I have a book written for parents, and it's titled How to Parent Your Teens Effectively. If you want a copy, you also let me know. And this is for women. Essence of a woman. There's a lot in here for every woman if you want to know yourself more, better, and advance as an individual. This is for elocution and effective communication. I have others, but they're not in hard copies. They're already exhausted, rather. So, let's move on. Make smart and involved decisions as responsible teens in life. Delay sexual activities. This part, when your children or teens know exactly what sexual activity... Is time up? Someone touched it. Okay. So if your children are able to know what teens or what sex activities are, They're able to delay or take the times. An example, when they ask about when do I have my boyfriend, you tell them when you know yourself better and you have the right money to care for a girlfriend. That could be the first instance to it. They will come again and ask questions as the classmates talk about it. And then you say when you are done with your university degree and you have a good job, begin to work for it. One time my daughter asked me, Mother, how did you give birth to me? And I said, through my vagina. I said, that's why you cannot afford to be pregnant. Because it's painful. Oh, Jesus, I don't want to be. I said, you will be. But when you have the strength for it, that's why you have to wait till you are matured enough. Every day she wake up and look at me. It must be hard having me in there. I'm like, yeah. Okay, so delay prepares them for body changes. Okay, next, to counter the rise of sexual activity amongst teens. Are you aware it's on the rise now? Every corner, they are doing things now. In fact, the styles, one of them said, Mama, I can give good blow jobs. I said, I cover you with the blood of Jesus. You can give? She said, I can whine. If I tell you the age of this whiner. Teens who know often say what? No. Okay, so let's move. Advantages, yeah, we've done that. Now let's talk about how to begin the sex conversation. It begins with bonding. Until you know your child, then can you converse with your child. Else, sexual conversations will seem weird to your children. You cannot take away bonding and connectivity or connection with your child if you're teaching sexual education. Because the topic on its own is weird. If you're not a free parent that they can speak with or talk to, you can't find it easy. Number 2, everyday life provide opportunities. So any way you can talk to them about it. When you or other members. An example, if someone is pregnant around us and they're talking about, I could just say, that woman is pregnant. You see the baby's growing. Look at this, look at that. And we could have at least 2 days conversation on that. At what age can I be pregnant? At so and so, God bless you, thank you. At so and so age. Okay, so what do? You get married. My daughter said to me one day, Mother, I've been thinking about this question. Don't lie to me, just tell the truth. I said, I will. Where did you and Dad meet? I said, church. Who fell in love with who? I said, Dad did. Why did you accept like that? Why? Give him, he should have waited for some time. I said, no, I love him too. You also love your husband. So I can't wait to have the conversation on the go. What did I say? On the go. So when you're connecting with them and you talk with them, you're able to know where they're at and what the knowledge is on certain matters. Okay, move quickly. Use of visuals. So sometimes you have your phones on. For beginning parents, teach them. Sometimes go on Google and search videos where parents or teachers are teaching children about sex education. That would help if it's weird for you. So you all will watch together and then you discuss together. Does that make sense? Okay, so you could just play and see the child is talking about this is the breast, this or that. What do you think about that? Why is the child talking about that? Why is the teacher saying this? That will begin to ease the ground for you to work on. Okay? And then when you're bathing them, you could also focus on that. So bathing time is not when you discuss what they did wrong. Is to talk about their bodies and what sexual activities are as it pertains to them and yourself. In conclusion, dear parents, I'm going to leave you with certain activities and call to action. The first is never be too busy for your child. Never be too busy for your child. An hour a day keeps danger away. An hour with your child a day keeps what? Danger away. Practice touch and love affirmations. I have that every day. My children have my love lipstick on them 3 times a day. More than 3 times, but specifically when I have my lipstick on. The first time is when they wake up. I go to the bedroom. I do not wake them with, get up, it's time for school. No. May God forgive our parents. Some parents will use water. You have it, right? You get into the bedroom and you can just say, tickle, tickle, tickle. Okay, I have a chocolate here. The first person to get up and get it. And you see them from the duvet. Can you do it? I say, you're a wicked mom. You just find ways to make waking up interesting. Sometimes I would tell them, the first person to get into the restroom will have a chocolate today. And they are moving, rushing in. And sometimes I would just get there and begin to tickle. Take up the duvet gradually until they all get up. And then when they get up, I give them a peck. The next time when they're leaving for school, I have a hug with them. And then words, you are the best in the world. I'm so proud of you. My son will say, Mom, call me my son. My son! And I'm like, and it will smile. If I do not say my son, he say, Mom, you didn't tell your son I love you. My son, I love you. And it will smile. If I go for pickup, you'll see him saying, come into my classroom. I want my friends to see you, because I always say, Papa. And he will look at the friends, the girls he like in class. Oh my, let's run please. Okay, so be a role model. They are watching after you. My children want to be celebrities. Do you know why? They said their mother is a celebrity. So they will always say, Mom, you always have gifts. In the office, everything you wear is a gift. People give you money. Is it because you are smart? Because I'm smart. So you see them trying to read. 2 minutes. Mom, I'm not smart. I'm celebrity. Oh, how? So you are able to influence them. Be a present parent, not a present absent parent. You are in the house, yet your mind is at work. If you're present, you are present. Everybody knows I close by 3 and I'm home. If I have speaking engagement, let's make it virtual. I'm home. Assignments, we converse, we talk about things. And when you're speaking with them, please eyeball to eyeball conversation. My girls will always tell Mother, look at me when you're talking to me. Because I've trained them to do that. Never let the child go to school without having a right affirmation. In my house, I have them on the wall. You are smart. You are bold. You are unique. You are special. I am proud of you. Don't do things because of your friends. When they go to school or walking past the corridor to the bedrooms, they see everything on the wall. Go on a date with them sometimes. No one is too big for love and no one is too small for love. Some days, you could have some days in the week and say, you come with me, we're going on a date. Just that person. I go on a stroll with my daughter because she's very clingy. She's in her early teens, but she's very clingy. And I see she loves to love and she loves love. I could just say, let's go together. Whilst we're walking past, she's the mother, so at school today, a boy told me, I'm like, are you for real? So what did you say? So we dig into lots of conversations by doing that. What's the next in my slide? Build a bond, kiss and hug. Finally, give them the attention they deserve. At this juncture, I'm going to call it a day. God bless you.
All right, please put your hands together again, please. Please put your, I don't even need to beg you. That was amazing. That was powerful. That was powerful. I need to just say this real quick. I remember growing up, right? Maybe it was because my mom was a nurse. I remember growing up, and then the first time my elder sister saw her period, she ran to my mom, I'm dying. That was the first thing she said. She said, Mommy, I think I'm dying. And then my mom was like, no. I've been praying to God for this and it has happened. I'm ready for this. She brought out the pad. Oh yeah, everybody line up. And in my head, I'm like, my elder sister is like almost 12 years older. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to know this. She shut up your mouth and sit down here. Do you know how I've been planning this conversation? You know, so I'm grateful to God. Honestly grateful to God that my mom did a lot of stuff for us, her children, took us out, made sure that if you come back home and be like, Mommy, one boy told you what? Who is his father? Does he have money? Your father, that's the first thing she will tell you. Does he have money? Can your father not buy what he wants to buy for you? What do you want? What did he say he wants to buy for you? Oh yeah, enter road. Let's go and buy it. So my mom was really deliberate with that for us, and I'm truly grateful to God for the kind of mother that I had. So I won't even say that I had the old school mom, even though she used to still use water to wake us up, but she was gangster like that, man. She will call you the first time. If you don't answer the second time, if they bath you with water. Oh my goodness, let's not even talk about it. All right, okay, so I want to go straight to this. The social media handles of all of our speakers will be on the WhatsApp group, and of course, you know, some of the materials and some stuff that we talked about today, we would have that as well on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so at this point, you know the drill now. Questions. So this is how we're going to do it. The first 3 people to raise their hands, we're just going to work with those people so we can work with time. So if you have questions for Mrs. Anderson, can I see you wave your hands? If you have any questions. Are you afraid? Because it's like the hand is coming from... You okay? Yes, we have one person. Okay, Reverend, I can't say no to you. Okay. Joseph, please. We have 3. Beautiful. This one that I've seen 3 people now, because the way it used to happen when it now reached the story is now sweeting. Everybody will not be raising hand. No, we have 3 people and we're working with 3 people. All right.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Ma. You really inspired me, Sha. Yes, I have 4 children, and 2 are in secondary school. 1 is about to join. I noticed that there are 2 are teenagers now. I noticed that whenever they woke up, you know, they are peeping now, right? And my second son will be like, I'll say, no, it's normal for you. Don't be ashamed. Like this morning, say, Mommy, don't worry, I'm coming. Before you know, he will get inside the room. Yeah. Coming out again, I said, don't be ashamed. It's normal for you. Okay, let your senior one. That one will say, don't ask me. There was a time I told my husband, because he's not always in town. I told my husband, you sit down and say, Daddy, educate them, enlighten them. I'm a woman. I don't really know much about that. But just make them to feel comfortable that it's normal for them. Though my husband is the type that he doesn't talk much. Yeah. And it's just this discipline. Even when they need things, they'll just, Mommy, from the gate, as I, Mommy this, Mommy that. I said, Daddy now, ask Daddy whenever Daddy is around. Sorry, he will say, no. As in the children will say, no, Mommy, it's you. Because I communicate a lot with them.
So what's the question, darling?
So as in, how will I train them? How will I let them know that whenever they wake up in the morning, when they are peeping rice, that is the normal way? Because I'll find a way to enlighten them. Yeah. They still feel ashamed.
Okay, I'm happy they're connected to you and with you. I'm very happy. So what you can do is go on a stroll with them.
Okay.
Yes. And then throw a funny question.
Okay.
Let the ground be easy for them to talk about, to walk on. Okay. So throw a funny question and say, I even noticed you. In the morning, so whilst you're doing that, so do you know that's normal? Do you know it's okay? So every morning, and also makes you a man. So it's fine that you have that going on. Okay. And then every morning you could just check up on them to see. I also need to know, I want to have grandchildren. Don't do that. So whilst you are pointing this, they'll begin to feel at ease. Like, okay, it's not really a big deal. We can talk about this. And you could have your phone on Google and bring out a video about what boys should experience in the morning and watch together.
Like there was a period, I think my senior one, think he came out from the restroom. Mommy, Jesus. I think a catarrh coming out from my pee-pee. And he told the younger ones, and they were waiting for me.
Yeah.
For that, I said, wow, catarrh coming out.
So what did you say about that?
I said, a big boy. Catarrh. Did you blow your nose? He said, no, mommy, directly from my pee-pee. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I said, wow, you are growing.
That's the right time, the right place again to talk about it. As a matter, you could even spend the whole day just on that. Funny ways about it. Talk about it. Just say, did it happen to you? You know, those boys that have those things, they are healthy. Yes. I'm happy about that. You know, you could begin to dig into it, and then you will see that when he goes to bed, Mom, I hope I won't have catarrh the next morning. He'll begin to pour this little by little to you, and you have your boys to yourself. Please applaud her. Does that answer your question, please? Yes, all right.
Praise God. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Adasin for this wonderful lecture. Also, Reverend and Mrs. Ahmed, I want to thank you guys. I really learned a lot. But Mama, I just want to ask you a question, a quick one, because this one is concerning my daughter. Maybe, okay, like I'm wondering, they're having tests, and maybe we have gone through normal revision, and because I've gone through this kind of seminar before. Say, okay, always tell your children you love them, and the ones that are not doing better, encourage them, and all those things. But like you are teaching her, and maybe Private Church is getting some questions, and maybe this particular one you think she should know it because her lesson teacher has told her. They taught her in school. You as a parent, you have also told her. Then the next day, I just start screaming. So I want you to tell me, what should I do? Because in my closet, I feel so bad. Okay, she has tried doing others, but this particular one, I was thinking that she should know it by now. But
You're an African mother.
So I still keep on shouting. But I shout at her. But in my closet, I tell myself, oh, this thing is really wrong.
I get it.
Praise God.
Please applaud her for that. She's an African mom. She was born in 1902. You look at the mother there, you're like, what's wrong with you? Bash, bash. They have finished you already. You know, I would always say that if you find yourself having difficulty controlling your anger as a parent, it's because you're going through trauma. Do you understand? Yes. Because we have, whatever it is that you express out of anger is actually hidden fears. Let me say it again. Whatever it is you express out of anger is actually hidden fears, especially towards your children. Now what you can do, and also understand, if they know this, they won't stress you. So if you come from the place of pity, away from the place of anger, you would solve the problem. If your child knows this, what will she gain by stressing you? That should be your first approach. It means you do not know this. Another is, sometimes they may know, but be afraid to do because of the fear of being beaten. What if it's wrong? So when you let them know, I teach my children, it's okay to fail. It's okay to pour water on the floor. It's okay to spoil things, but don't leave it there for me to fix. So they're beginning to learn it's okay to spoil, and they can also fix things by themselves. So what happens is the mind triggers on solution after spoiling things. The same thing happens with education. You are done solving. Can I see it? Don't worry, be bold. So they are saying things, I can do this. I can do this. What you're doing, you are bringing out the confidence in them. When they're confident, they will do it well. So don't be angry anymore. Tell her, do it. If you fail it, you're going to do it again. We'll do it together. So when she does it wrong, you go back and 1 + 2, 2. And find ways. There is no dull child. There is only a teacher who do not know how to teach a child. So what you can do there is, okay, this is it. It's not working. You can dance. I have a son who would not learn like every other child. Tell Emmanuel to write on a table and a chair. How? It won't give you result. Emmanuel writes under the chair, under the table, on the kitchen cabinet. So our school teacher is saying he's not getting it right. I'm like, it's not structured like we are structured. Allow Emmanuel to play and teach him. It will come with a result. I said to the teacher, our system in Nigeria is one way. It does not give space to children. There's no flexibility. So every child should be under, you must know by this particular pattern, and it's totally wrong. So understand how your child learns, maybe through laptop or through the phones or cartoons or by playway method, the Montessori method. So try whatever works for her and you will see her giving you a result. Does that respond to your question? All right.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Anderson, for such an enlightening session. Very inspiring. Very brief, short question and straight to the point. You talked about being a present parent. And so my question is, how do you, don't be present absent parents, how do you address that when you can be someone of multifaceted personality, a lot of things you do at the same time? Sometimes when I even get back home, even my phones are still busy. All right, so I need help in that area so that I can be able to give. As much as I try sometimes to just create a time for her, be with her. And I've been with her since morning before we came here. Wow. Mommy, yeah, I've been. I was when I received calls, I tell them no call now. I'm babysitting. Okay. Then when she said to me, I want to see mommy, I said, let me get you dressed, bathe you. Let me take you and go and see mommy where she's working right now. All right, but I need to learn how to be present parent. Because even my wife used to talk about, you are here even in the house, you are with your phone, and you are doing something. Yeah. Yeah, possible. Thank you. That's my question.
Okay, so it's a good question. I'm also a certified marriage counselor and relationship expert, so it's a fine one. So I think, sir, the first thing is to prioritize. Because they know when you're not present. These people, they came from another world. My children know that if I am busy, especially when I'm counseling, and they come to request anything from me, they get it. Do you understand that? Okay, have it. So they wait for that time and have the list of weird things and they want from me. And they'll just come like one after the other. Mother, can I have milk and Milo? Yeah. Mother, can I have chocolate? Yeah. Mother, can I have a tablet? Have it. Because I want to concentrate. I noticed when they're doing a conversation, my son was like, Mother, when is the next meeting? He went and came and he was, I said, why not? Wow. What do you have with my next meeting? And then the other one said, because we know we can have anything. Okay. My mother was saying, so after that day, I knew, maybe because I used to be present and absent. So when I'm in a meeting, I'm like, what do you want? Did you say Miller? Did you say Miller? Like, I heard you, baby. I'm not carrying away anymore. I'm present. And so they're like, mother is now, she's changed. She's now weird. I'm not weird. I'm only present. So, sir, what could happen is to prioritize. I always tell parents, the moment you get home, your first 1 hour is for the children. I will say it again. The moment you get home, your first 1 hour is for who? I know you are busy, but let me tell you, in the next 10 years, you would wish they were still young. You would wish it. So when I get to the house, I always tell all my clients, please, by 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., I'm going to be very busy. No calls. So I want to be able to, what's going on? How was the gist today? I'm making maybe cereal, making this. What's happening? We're able to do that. So, sir, first 1 hour of the day into the house, no calls, no meetings for the heart rub, and then the daughters. Does that answer your question, sir? All right, please applaud Rev.